The first works I ever made, I took them in and showed these 6 works to my therapist. I remember her saying, "Have you ever thought about making happy art?" 14 years later, that is what I've started to engage with. I just enjoy it. It makes me happy. That's not answering your question directly at all, but what was the question? This is formerly an artist called Andrew Logan's private home and atelier for his work. There's an energy here that you can't really explain. When I first arrived in this room, the tree was the only thing you were drawn to looking at. Almost the pointlessness of human creativity starts to play with your mind, because it's like the beauty in nature is so incredible. It's almost like the squiggles kind of grew out from the tree. I enjoy moving around the lines emotionally. I don't know, what do you think of it? My work's kind of been like a self-help course. It's like I'm the therapist as well as the client kind of thing. As I've become healthier and happier, that has expanded out into like a wider political kind of dialogue for me. Why is there so much uncomfortability and conflict? And how does that relate in terms of how people have experienced love ultimately? This piece, it's got my mother's cigarette packets, it's got a wine box with some text on it that she wrote, actually, funnily enough, saying, "Ciggy packets, I'm going to win the Turner Prize when I make this sculpture." And I actually found that in her garage. She doesn't know I've made this sculpture. I regard her as like an informal archivist. Some people might lean towards saying, well, aren't you a bit of a hoarder if you collect all your cigarette packets with no intention of doing anything with them? Well, she wants me to make her tombstone out of them. My art is about trying to transition us back into a place where we actually realize it's not all about us. They're sort of like a combination between like hunting trophies and like love totems. Like that piece over there has got sausages coming out of the mouth, Disney toy eyes, real horns. I'm also interested in creating work that is representative of our time and a reflection of what we're doing, how we're engaging in the food chain. I mean, even sitting here wearing a hunting jacket that someone convinced me to buy in a thrift store in LA, it's so opposing to my actual behavior, my relationship to animals. I've only ever used animals, besides the fur coats, which are in the human food chain. So zebra is manufactured in South Africa as a food produce. Something that can be super affronting in the context for one person can be super normal in another. They're the lines that I enjoy playing with. The sausages from a commercial on TV mixed with horns from nature, with Disney, with paint and color, and it's like the complexity of the narrative of corporate profit and business and human survival. If the hard drives of the internet were to melt and everything was morphed into something that like another species came back, found them and worked out like what happened to planet Earth, what was this? The aliens would go, oh, okay, that's what fucking happened. This show's called Post Apoca-Lips, and the term apocalypse, you know, we know it in terms of literature as being associated with the end of the world, but actually the Greek word apocalypse just means the beginning of unknown, which is, for me, a life of happiness and like real, true, positive engagement with myself and therefore then how I relate to others. What is the point of making art? The side of this building opens, and from the street there's so many people who walk past you, engage initially with obviously seeing that incredible tree, and then as the energy, somehow that's transferred even to just random people walking by and being able to come into the show or me welcoming them in. That is just one of the greatest joys in life. Whether it's just having a conversation or how someone responds to my work, more people engage with it. And that's fucking exciting. And that's for me what art is about.